Okay, so imagine this. You've got this AI, and it's not just you answering your questions.
Yeah.
It's actually like doing stuff for you online.
Whoa.
Yeah, like booking appointments,
Yeah.
comparing prices, even like hunting down incredible deals on used stuff.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
This is OpenAI's operator, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's wild. So today we're going deep on what this could actually mean for you.
It is a real shift, right? Like we've got a bunch of sources here. OpenAI's announcement, some pretty in-depth articles, even like tutorial videos showing Operator actually like doing its thing.
Oh, wow.
What I find really striking is how fast this is going from like, oh, that's a cool demo, to something that has real-world applications.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so fascinating for, this deep dive. We're not just like, geeking out over the AI itself.
Right.
But we're exploring how operators could like shake things up,
Yeah.
for businesses.
Yeah.
Automate all those like soul-crushing tasks we all hate, and maybe even give you an edge, whether you're like, a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out.
Totally.
It's a game changer potentially.
Yeah. And one of the videos actually like shows Operator browsing the web.
Oh, wow.
Almost like a human would. It's not just lines of code. It's like visually navigating pages and making choices.
Really?
Yeah. And they highlight this with an example of finding like undervalued pizza ovens on Facebook Marketplace, specifically the Me brand.
That caught my eye too.
Yeah.
The oven was listed at $250, but operator found comparable models selling for $500.
Wow.
That's a pretty huge potential profit just waiting to be like snatched up, right?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how many hidden opportunities like that are just like lurking out there online.
Right. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. This isn't just about, snagging a good deal for yourself. Think about applying this to e-commerce, like automatically scouting for undervalued products across all these different platforms. It could totally change how businesses source inventory, how they analyze market trends, even how we think about pricing strategies.
Yeah, it's almost like having a 247 market research team, but powered by AI.
Exactly.
And it wasn't just pizza ovens in the video, right?
Oh, yeah.
Operator tackled wedding planning, too.
Oh, wow.
Specifically, this super tedious process of getting catering quotes.
Yeah.
So annoying.
The worst.
Like the worst.
Yeah.
So it was actually shown filling out forms on the Not website.
Not.
Automatically collecting and comparing prices from all these different caterers.
Imagine the time saved for wedding planners or even the couples trying to organize their own wedding. Like, huge.
That would be incredible.
Right.
Yeah, so we're seeing this potential for both individual entrepreneurs and like these big established industries to be impacted.
Totally.
But if this AI is acting so independently, like, how do we actually tell it what to do?
Good question.
The sources keep mentioning this prompt engineering thing.
Right. That's crucial.
What is that?
It's like the art of giving operator the right instructions to actually achieve a specific goal.
Okay.
So it's not just about saying, like, find me a pizza oven. It's about setting clear parameters or, price range, location condition, even how many quotes you want it to gather per minute. The more specific the prompt, the better the results you're going to get.
So it's like having this super-powered intern.
Kind of.
You need to like train them well to get the most out of their abilities.
Yeah.
But even with like really great prompts, there's still the question of limitations.
Of course.
The sources mentioned that operator couldn't access AliExpress, which seems like a pretty big roadblock for anyone trying to source products internationally.
That's a really fascinating point, and it highlights that operator is like still under development.
Right.
There are these technical hurdles,
Yeah.
potentially even geopolitical ones,
Oh.
that could limit its reach, whether it's AI being blocked by certain sites or just challenges in understanding those like nuances across different languages and markets.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of work to be done.
There's a lot of work to do.
For sure.
Feels like we're still so early in this tech.
Yeah.
But even these early glimpses are pretty mind-blowing.
Oh, totally.
So far, we've seen operator like scout deals, gather information, even interact with websites. What else can it do?
Okay, so get this. The sources also describe operators' ability to send personalized cold emails.
No way.
Yeah, imagine feeding it a spreadsheet of potential clients and
Okay.
having it craft individual messages all tailored to their specific needs.
So it's like having a marketing team working around the clock.
Exactly.
That sounds like a dream come true for anyone who's ever dreaded sending out those mass emails.
Totally.
But I have to ask, like, how much control do we actually have over what operator does?
Yeah, that's a big one.
If it's sending emails on our behalf, making purchases, interacting with the web,
Mhm.
Doesn't that raise some concerns about security and privacy?
Absolutely. That's a crucial question, and the sources do address it.
Okay, good.
OpenAI has actually implemented 3 layers of safeguards,
Okay.
specifically designed to prevent misuse and to protect sensitive information.
Wow.
One of these is a takeover mode,
Takeover mode.
which kicks in whenever sensitive data like logins or payments are involved, giving the user full control.
So it's like having an emergency brake just in case things start to go off track.
Exactly.
That's reassuring, but it also makes you wonder about the potential for like bad actors.
Right.
If this tech is so powerful, won't people try to exploit it for malicious purposes?
Absolutely. OpenAI acknowledges that threat and has implemented additional measures to combat things like prompt injections and phishing attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've built a monitor model which acts like a watchdog, constantly scanning for any suspicious behavior.
Watchdog.
Yeah.
I like it. Sounds like they're really trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But I can't help but think this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
As Operator evolves and becomes more accessible, won't we need even more robust safeguards and regulations?
That's a question worth pondering for sure.
Yeah.
We're essentially talking about like a fundamental shift in how we interact with the digital world.
Right.
As AI agents become more sophisticated.
Uh-huh.
It's going to raise even more profound questions about ethics, privacy, and the very nature of work itself.
It's a lot to think about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've seen Operator in action, finding pizza ovens,
Pizza oven.
gathering quotes, even navigating these complex websites.
Uh-huh.
We've touched upon the technical aspects,
Yeah.
the potential benefits, and the inherent risks.
Absolutely.
But what about the bigger picture?
Okay.
What does all of this mean for, like, the average person?
That's what makes this so fascinating.
Yeah.
We're on the cusp of something truly transformative. Operator and AI agents, like, it have the potential to revolutionize not just specific tasks,
Yeah.
but entire industries, and perhaps even the way we live and work.
It's a lot to wrap your head around, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot to wrap your head around, right?
Yeah.
We're used to AI being like a tool, something we use, but Operator feels different.
It does.
Like a collaborator, almost an extension of ourselves in the digital world.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's not just about automating tasks. It's about like augmenting our abilities,
Right.
offloading those repetitive or like time-consuming actions. So we can actually focus on the things that require human creativity, strategy, intuition,
Right. Which brings us to another point that the sources touch on the potential impact on the job market.
Right.
If AI agents like Operator can do so much, won't that lead to like widespread job displacement?
Yeah,
It's a question that like always seems to pop up
it does.
whenever we talk about AI advancements.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, and history shows us that technological advancements often disrupt traditional ways of working.
Yeah.
But rather than framing it as like this human versus machine scenario,
Right.
perhaps we should consider how AI can like redefine roles and create new opportunities.
So instead of replacing jobs outright, it's more about reshaping how we work,
Yeah,
changing the tasks we focus on.
exactly. Think of it as like a collaborative evolution. AI agents handling the routine, freeing up humans for higher level thinking and problem solving.
Right.
It's about finding the right balance, leveraging the strengths of both humans and AI.
Makes sense. It's not about eliminating jobs, but rather like evolving them.
Totally.
But even if we like embrace that shift, there are still concerns about accessibility.
Oh, for sure.
Right now, Operator is only available to like a limited group of users.
That's right. It's currently in a research preview phase, accessible only to pro users in the US.
Okay.
But that's likely to change as the technology matures. OpenAI has a track record of making its tools widely available, and Operator is no exception.
So it's a bit of a waiting game for most of us.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder what happens when this tech becomes more accessible?
Right.
Will it create like a digital divide
Uh-huh.
where those with access to AI agents have a significant advantage over those who don't?
It's a crucial question, and one that policymakers and tech developers are going to need to address.
Yeah.
Ensuring equitable access to these transformative technologies is essential. We need to avoid a scenario where AI advancements only benefit like a select few.
Right. Which brings us back to the ethical considerations.
For sure.
It's not just about access, it's about responsible development and deployment.
Absolutely. OpenAI is acutely aware of the potential pitfalls and has emphasized its commitment to safety and ethical considerations. The 3 layers of safeguards are just one example of their approach.
Speaking of those safeguards, we've touched on the technical aspects.
Yeah.
But It would be helpful to understand how they actually work in practice.
Sure. So the takeover mode is essentially a safety net. Whenever operator encounters sensitive information like credit card details or passwords, it pauses and hands control back to the user.
Hmm.
This prevents the AI from making unauthorized transactions or accessing personal data.
So it's like a built-in failsafe
Yeah.
to prevent the AI from going rogue. What about the monitor model? How does that work to prevent malicious use?
The monitor model is constantly running in the background, analyzing operators' actions and looking for patterns that might indicate malicious intent.
Okay.
It's like having a security guard constantly watching over the AI's every move, ready to intervene if something seems amiss.
That's reassuring. It sounds like they're really trying to anticipate potential problems and build in solutions from the ground up.
Yeah, they're trying to be proactive.
But even with all these precautions, there are still bound to be unforeseen challenges.
Yeah. Of course, AI development is an iterative process, and as operator interacts with the real world, we're bound to encounter new challenges and ethical dilemmas.
Right.
It's a continuous learning process, and it requires constant vigilance from both developers and users.
You mentioned earlier that Operator is still under development. What are some of the current limitations that the sources highlight?
Well, one thing that came up is Operator's ability to handle complex interfaces. While it excels at navigating websites and filling out forms, it struggles with tasks that require a deeper understanding of context or visual elements. For example, creating a slideshow presentation or managing a calendar with multiple overlapping appointments still proves to be a challenge.
So it's not a silver bullet.
Yeah, it has limitations.
There are still tasks that require human intervention, particularly those that involve complex decision-making or creative thinking.
Exactly. It's important to remember that Operator is a tool, albeit a powerful one. It's not a replacement for human intelligence or judgment. It's about finding the synergy between human and AI capabilities, using Operator to augment our skills and streamline our workflows.
That makes sense. It's about working smarter, not harder.
Right.
But even with these limitations, Operator is still a pretty impressive piece of technology. It can find deals, gather information, send emails, and even interact with websites on our behalf.
It's powerful.
It's clear that this has the potential to change the way we work, but what about the way we live?
That's where things get really interesting. Imagine a world where AI agents take care of all those mundane, everyday tasks that currently consume so much of our time and energy.
Things like scheduling appointments, booking, travel, managing finances, even ordering groceries.
Exactly. Imagine having an AI agent that anticipates your needs, automates your routine, and frees up your time to focus on things that truly matter to you, whether that's spending time with loved ones, pursuing creative passions, or simply relaxing and enjoying life.
It sounds almost utopian, a world where AI frees us from the drudgery of everyday life.
It's a possibility.
But wouldn't that also create a sense of dependency?
It could.
What happens if we become so reliant on these AI agents that we lose the ability to do things for ourselves?
It's a valid concern. As with any powerful technology, there's a risk of over-reliance and potential negative consequences. But it also presents an opportunity to rethink our relationship with technology, to find a balance where AI empowers us without diminishing our own agency and capabilities.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but about how we choose to use it.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot where AI enhances our lives without dictating them.
Precisely. It's about harnessing the power of AI to create a future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential impact of Operator on the job market, the ethical considerations, the safeguards OpenAI has implemented, and even the broader societal implications.
It's a lot to consider.
It is.
For sure.
But let's bring it back to the individual level.
Okay.
If you could have an AI agent like Operator working for you right now, what would be the first task you'd assign it?
Oh, that's a great question.
It really gets to the heart of how this technology could personalize productivity and change the way we approach work.
Totally.
Maybe you'd have it scour the web for the best travel deals.
Oh, yeah.
Or perhaps you'd unleash it on your inbox, crafting the perfect responses to those emails you've been putting off.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'd have it analyze market trends, helping you spot new business opportunities. The possibilities are truly endless.
They really are.
So we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts, your ideas, your concerns about Operator and the future of AI automation? Share them in the comments and let's keep this conversation going.
Because this is a topic that deserves our attention, our curiosity, and our critical thinking as we navigate this exciting and uncharted territory together.
It really does feel like we've only just dipped our toes into what's possible with operators.
Yeah, definitely.
We've seen it in action, finding those pizza oven deals,
Yeah.
gathering catering quotes, even, trying to navigate AliExpress.
Right.
It's clear that this tech has the potential to, really reshape how we interact with the online world.
And that's what's so exciting, isn't it? We're not just talking about like small improvements,
Yeah,
but a fundamental shift in how we approach work, how we find information, even how we manage our daily lives.
it's huge.
It is.
We've talked about the potential benefits for businesses, individuals, the importance of prompt engineering to, guide operator
Mhm.
effectively, and of course, the safeguards that OpenAI has put in place to address those concerns about security and misuse.
Mhm.
But even with all the
Right.
precautions, the idea of these AI agents acting autonomously on our behalf,
Yeah.
it can feel a little bit unsettling.
It's a natural reaction. We're venturing into uncharted territory here,
Right.
and it's healthy to question the implications of such powerful technology.
Yeah.
One of the sources even drew a comparison to the early days of the internet,
Hmm.
when no one could have predicted the profound impact it would have on our lives.
That's a great analogy.
It is.
We're witnessing the birth of something totally new, something with immense potential
For
for
sure.
both good and bad.
Right.
It's up to us as a society to guide its development and
Wow.
ensure it's used responsibly.
Absolutely. And that's where the conversation becomes even more critical.
Right.
It's not just about the tech itself. It's about the choices we make, the regulations we put in place,
Uh-huh.
and the values we prioritize as we integrate AI into our lives.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into operator and the future of AI automation, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
We've explored the capabilities, the potential benefits, and the potential risks.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the question isn't whether AI will change our lives.
No.
It's how.
That's the big question.
It's a question that demands our attention, our curiosity, our willingness to engage in, thoughtful dialogue.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it sparked your curiosity and inspired you to think critically about the role that AI will play in all of our lives.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
It really is. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.